I got one word for you. Well, depending on where you are, maybe two. Alimony, spousal support. Yes, that is coming up more and more and more, especially because of the state of the economy and everything else related. So if you are on the receiving end, or you'd like to be on the receiving end of alimony or spousal support, or maintenance is what New York used to call it, or maybe they still do, I don't know, then this episode is for you, because alimony, spousal support is not automatic. Yeah, even 20, 30-year marriages doesn't guarantee you're gonna get lifetime alimony, let alone some alimony. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Self-Represented in Family Court, the only podcast you need if you're feeling lost, stuck, or overwhelmed in family court. At Self-Represented, we don't waste time discussing the law like all the other podcasts. We focus on what really matters in your divorce or custody case. That's strategy. With your host, Tracey Bee, former family law attorney turned pro se family court strategist.
So recently, I've noticed an influx, like a huge increase in people asking for, requesting alimony in their divorce cases, whether it be temporary alimony, long-term or permanent alimony, interim alimony, spousal support. I'm going to use the terms interchangeably. It's definitely something that's been on the table. I don't know what the increase is, but there is a huge increase in the demands being made. And understandably, we all are dealing with the economic stressors of everything, the war, you name it, corporate greed, the list goes on. And so, yeah, who couldn't use some extra cash? Or just cash, period, because a lot of people are in a predicament where they need financial support because they are at an age where they can't go to work or get a job. They are disabled. They don't have any skills, and the market is really bad. So whatever the reason, there's an uptick in the requests for alimony. And that's across the board. That is truly across the board. And yeah, even though we all know what the economic state we're all in and how it's affecting most of us, it doesn't guarantee that that particular stress or the impact that it is placing or putting on a lot of people is going to be something that the court is going to take into consideration to award alimony. Now, don't get me wrong, economic factors is usually something that is factored into the court's decision, but the reality is it's not determinative. And so I wanted to talk today about 5 typical alimony spousal support scenarios that are not really going to be hindered on what the law says, but it's going to be more about how you position your request or your demand, how you strategize your case for alimony and or a spousal support. So I want to also say this. Spousal support or alimony is something that is determined by the court in one way or another. When I say that, what I mean is and I'm laughing because I hear so many people come back and say, whether I'm on social media or wherever, they'll come and say, oh, the other party is upset that I'm asking for financial support from them, even though I've been staying at home, I don't work, I'm disabled, or I'm of the age where I can't get a job. They're really upset that I'm asking for spousal support when they've been supporting the family the whole time we were together. And for me, I'm like, oh yeah, especially if that other party, that spouse, is a man. And I'm not going to mince words here. We all know that men don't like to part. Nobody likes to part with their money, but men just don't like the idea of financially supporting an ex-spouse. I don't care, in the best of circumstances, no one wants to just turn over their money to support a spouse, an ex-spouse or party who they're not in a union with anymore. It just, even when they say, yes, I know I'm going to have to support you, they're still going to fight about the amount and or the duration, because no one wants to voluntarily turn over their money. So when I say that it's usually a judge's decision, unless you can agree, and it does happen, some people are successful at getting alimony in negotiations, settlement negotiations, or mediation, especially if they have the assistance of somebody like a CDFA or a financial advisor, or somebody who knows the numbers and has an idea, have some background experience on alimony cases to help them, to assist them. And yeah, if you're pro se and you're looking for alimony, you should definitely have somebody helping you through that process, whether it be a financial person or a legal advisor or somebody like myself. You should definitely have someone to walk you through that, to support you, to basically ensure that you are making informed decisions along the way. And I say that because there are some states that don't have alimony calculators, and there are some that do. So the states that have alimony calculators is just like the statutory child support calculators, where the calculators are just a matter of you plugging in numbers and you coming up with a figure, as opposed to states that usually use some sort of general principles or they might have some case law that they refer to or rely on. You may not know how to apply those principles or the case law to your specific case. So it might help you to have somebody who does. But yeah, a lot of instances, it's to get alimony, especially what you are, I don't want to say what you're entitled to or what you have the right to get, because again, if you're in a state that doesn't have alimony calculator, then it's probably going to be hard pressed for anybody to definitively say what you are entitled to. There's some states where they use formulas, and I believe New Jersey is one of them, if I'm not mistaken. But in that case, you most certainly want someone who knows how to make your argument. And again, that's where a financial professional comes in, or a legal professional comes in, who makes an argument are familiar with having been done in similar cases similar to yours. Anyway, let's talk about those 5 typical scenarios where the law is not necessarily what's going to determine if you get alimony and how much and for how long. So scenario number 1, the spouse who is all of a sudden broke. They're all of a sudden destitute. They've literally transferred funds. They've purposely, intentionally been demoted or unemployed. They've been hiding assets or transferring assets or liquidating assets, meaning spending a lot of assets, spending down some things. And so now all of a sudden on paper, they look like they're destitute. So again, in that situation, it's not just the law that's going to apply, because if you're in a state where the factors are coming to play and those factors don't really address the possibility that they transferred or intentionally became destitute, then it's not just a matter of you making that case, that claim. You're going to have to make that part of the way you present the case. So that means, what does that mean? That means you're going to have to do your own research, your own digging, your own whatever, discovery, subpoenas, your forensics, whatever, to uncover or to reveal to the court that this is what's happened. And that's not going to be cheap. That's not going to be cheap. It's going to be cost intensive, especially, and time intensive as well. It's going to be stressful as well. And it can be really overwhelming to do that, especially if you're pro se and you don't have anybody helping you do that. I don't really suggest or advise people to do certain things or handle certain parts of their case pro se, 100% pro se anyway. If you are pro se and you have the means to hire an attorney to work with you alongside you, or a strategist like myself, or a financial expert, then you may just want to use them for that particular part, like helping you locate exactly what the assets really are, what the earning potential really is, and to somebody like myself, particularly to help you present that, to package that, so that the court is made aware of this particular this occurrence, this instance. So they'll actually purposely and intentionally avoid any sort of revealing anything to you to ensure that you are not successful at bringing forth the fact that they are lying about their financial predicament. So that's one. So strategically, you're gonna want the court to know what their history of earnings was like, what history of assets they had, and how you're going to do that. You're going to need to show that. You're going to have to actually present that, because just testifying to that is not going to be enough.
If you're having an active family court case and something already feels off, you need to identify where your case is seriously exposed. Schedule a strategy session now so we can shield your case from more damage. You can't afford to keep guessing. It's costing you way too much.